This is something one of my friend Mike told me about. I ought to start doing my own logging book for my fishing trip or any kind of ventures out there. But um, I got this whole thing years ago. Got some pins in there, whatever you want. Need to put in there. I got some information, extra little books. I got some maps in here where I want to go fishing. Couple things I like to do. Put in my scrapbook / little trips I do, and little adventures, and just something, a memory, good old memory of fishing trip about. I don't know, it's just something I thought was kind of cool. I'll just keep adding on there. There we go. That's a brook trout I caught there in Colorado. Good information to remember. Then I put a little information, maps, campgrounds like there. Lynn County Park. There's a little campsite. Kind of the one I like to pick. It's way up on this side. Eventually I'm going to add more to it. Here's some maps I copy off of that book, so I could use that to write information on the back, more about the trip, so I could log in the trip I did when I go in Colorado or other states. The fishing journal, I got information what it costs, cabin, what I did over there at the strip pits there in Kansas. And got a little, write out a little information about the different parts of Deal Lakes, what unit, which one has for different fish in, the strip pits, just information like that. And down some maps where I want to try to go fishing, campsites where I want to go camping at, just a little information like that. A good little scrapbook. I thought, hey, why not? This way is a good way to write down information while you're on the road and traveling different states, a different place to go fishing. What's good about your fishing? What kind of luck you have? What lure you use? Or the temperature of the water, and what's the weather? If it's cold, wet, rainy, you can write that down. What you did good, what you didn't do good on the fishing, and just give a little information. And I'm going to write down stuff where I ate. The restaurant was really good. Write that down. That's what I'm going to start doing that as well. Just a logbook that's give you great information that you need. Something you could travel in, and write down, log in your stuff, and some of your camping trip, good old fishing trip, what you did, you know, just stuff like that. Just so cool. And I have my family. Information on my family, or not information, but you know, just something memory of my family. And you know, a lot of us have a lot of trips and a lot of fun trips with all the family. The fishing trips with families and friends, stuff like that. Good old trips. Get yourself a logbook and put the maps or any of your pictures of what you done. Just a memory of the time you went with families and friends, and or by yourself outdoors. Just to get outdoors and enjoy everything out this trip. And then of course all your information that you'd like to have. All information you'd like to have, log in your fishing report, the weather, and the lures, and what you did, and where you went, what you like or dislike, and write down some of the stuff that you like to go fishing, enjoyed, restaurants that you like it, write it down, where you stay at, cabin, hotel, what you like about it, didn't like, stuff like that. Logbook. Yes, good old logbook. The thing about logbooks, This way you plan an adventure ahead of time. Now you make copies off of maps and different places you want to go, and campsites, different places. That's a good thing about the logbook. And then once you write everything, all the information you went on the trip, and years later down the road, you decide, you know what trip I like the best, and what restaurant I like to eat at, what places I like to enjoy this trip, this logbook. And that's what's a good thing about the logbook. It'll tell you exactly what you want, what you wrote down, what lure you used, what month you went out fishing. So this way you kind of log yourself different what works, what didn't work when you were fishing, and the temperature of the water, and what the weather was during that time. And it's just a good information that you'll like to have for your future. So not only are you planned ahead for a trip for the logbook, but at the same time you got information that you put in that will help for your trip in the past. And it'd be a cool little log book to set up for your fishing trip. And if you don't go fishing, you do other trips, you could do the exact same thing for set up of trips, like you're just going out adventure on trips, hiking trips, hunting trips, and do the exact same ideal. And it's just a good information to have on you. And you can report about the trip, good and bad, and the ugly. The good and bad, ugly. And this is a good way to give yourself an information in the future when you decide you want to go back to that same place, and you're like, what lure did I use, what temperature the wet water was, and what was the weather during that time, and maybe the same lure or the same fly that might be what you want to use again, or might change up something different. But that's the way it goes. Good old logbook, good old information, and good old scrap for your memory. So I'm still going to add more scrap, more information, more trips we do, more trips that I do out here. Woo! Oh yeah! That's Wild Bill's Adventures Outdoor. Catch you on the other side.